Demand can fluctuate over the medium term, and this puts managers in the tricky position of choosing if and when to react with deliberate adjustment in capacity. For clarity, there are lots of things that cause unintended variation of our capacity, which is bad and we want to work on to reduce. Things like breakdowns, supply issues, quality issues, maintenance, etc. Reducing those causes are every bit as important as reducing the variation of demand. But now we're going to talk about if and how we could deliberately vary our capacity. Deliberately changing capacity means very different things in different industries. In something like a coffee shop, it might just mean work a bit faster for a couple of hours or pay some overtime, maybe even hire an extra person on a temporary basis. If you work on an oil rig offshore at sea, it could mean just turn the dial up a bit for a little while, and that works until you need even more capacity, and then you have to build another $500 million offshore oil rig over the next 5 years and hire a whole new crew of people. I think this is kind of representative of what is quite often the case, that it can be quite easy to vary capacity within a given range, but then much harder to make a larger step change, either up or down. Then we would have to commit to hiring new people, firing people, building a new factory, finding new suppliers, and each of these options have consequences. There were upfront costs. It takes time to set up and implement, and there's commitments we're tied into, such as hiring a full-time permanent employee or the emotion and human strain of having to make redundancies. In an ideal world, we would have perfectly level, predictable demand, and therefore a perfectly level production schedule and level capacity. But even long-term stable demand has fluctuations over shorter time spans. Despite all our efforts to reduce variation of demand, there still will be some in spite of this, and it's still a huge advantage if we can maintain a level output capacity, at least over a given planning period. This would mean the same number of staff with the same number of premises or factories open. Small variations in demand can be levelled out by just keeping a level production schedule and simply building a little bit of finished goods stock during quieter periods, which can, hopefully, be sold during later little peaks in demand. This option is only possible for some non-perishable goods, and obviously not services, but this leads to higher finished goods inventory, which comes with risk and all those inventory costs, financial, opportunity, operational and holding costs.